I thought I had the perfect marriage. A beautiful wife, a stable job, and dreams of raising a family together. But dreams can shatter in ways you never imagine. When the nurse placed the newborn in my arms, my world collapsed in an instant. The baby's skin was dark, her features unmistakable. She was not mine. My heart pounded, my breath disappeared, and the truth stood there in that tiny crying child. My wife had betrayed me, and the evidence was alive, breathing, and staring right back at me. I grew up believing loyalty was the foundation of any relationship. My father often told me, "Trust is a bridge. Once broken, you can never walk across it the same way again." When I married Angela, I thought I had found someone who would never test that bridge. She was charming, intelligent, and carried herself with grace that drew people in. We met in college, both studying business, and bonded over long nights of assignments and shared dreams of success. After graduation, we married young, eager to build our future. I landed a position in finance while Angela pursued teaching. Life wasn't perfect, but it was comfortable. We had a modest home, weekend trips, and quiet evenings spent laughing over cheap takeout. Felt like love was enough. Angela often spoke about wanting a child. At first, I hesitated, unsure if we were ready financially, but eventually, her excitement became contagious. We prepared together, painting a nursery pale yellow, assembling a crib, and buying clothes we could barely afford. Every small moment filled me with anticipation. Pregnancy changed Angela. At first, it was subtle, the mood swings, fatigue, and cravings. I brushed it off as normal. But then, she became distant. She'd stay late at work, claiming meetings or grading papers kept her. Our intimacy dwindled, and when I asked if something was wrong, she reassured me it was just hormones. I believed her because that's what love does. It blinds you. As months passed, I noticed whispers around her school community. Parents lingered in conversations when I attended events, eyes shifting uncomfortably. One evening, I overheard a colleague of hers, a tall African-American coach, complimenting her a little too warmly. I ignored it, chalking it up to friendliness. After all, I wasn't the jealous type. When labor finally arrived, I was a mess of nerves and excitement. I held Angela's hand through every contraction, whispering encouragements, imagining the moment I'd meet my child. But when the baby arrived and the nurse placed her in my arms, reality hit harder than any nightmare. The baby girl had deep brown skin and curly black hair. My heart stopped. My mind scrambled for explanations, genetics, some distant relative, maybe an anomaly. But there was no denying the truth. She wasn't mine. Shock spread like fire in my veins. I looked at Angela, searching her face for answers, but her eyes avoided mine. She looked exhausted, yes, but also guilty. The silence between us was deafening. Doctors bustled around, congratulating us, while I held a baby that carried none of my features. That night in the hospital room, as Angela slept, I stared at the crib. The baby stirred, innocent and unaware of the storm she had been born into. Betrayal has a way of twisting your insides. It's not just anger, it's grief, humiliation, and a strange hollow emptiness. When we returned home, I tried to suppress my suspicions. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there was a hidden truth I didn't know. But whispers around town grew louder. People avoided eye contact. Friends stopped visiting. One brave neighbor hinted at rumors. Angela had grown close to the school's basketball coach, spending long hours in his office. I pieced together fragments. Missed dinners, unexplained late nights, the strange glow in her eyes when she mentioned his name. The puzzle completed itself cruelly. The child was his. Angela's behavior confirmed it. She avoided discussions about paternity, brushing off questions with sharp remarks. She insisted I accept the baby as ours, as if love could erase the truth. But deep down, she knew I knew. The betrayal dug deeper because it wasn't just about infidelity. It was about the world's gaze. In our community, race wasn't just a detail. It was a mirror reflecting every judgment and whisper. People stared, not at the baby, but at me, the fool who raised a child that clearly wasn't his. I felt mocked by society, pitted, reduced to a man who couldn't control his own household. I considered leaving, packing my bags, walking away, and cutting ties, but my heart warred with my pride. I had invested years into this marriage, into Angela. Could I abandon everything so easily? Yet every time I looked at the baby, I was reminded of my wife's betrayal, living proof in a crib. The breaking point came one evening when I confronted Angela. The baby was asleep, and the house was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator. My voice trembled as I asked her the question that had burned inside me since the hospital. "Whose child is this?" Angela froze. For a moment, I saw the woman I once loved, the woman I thought I knew. Then, slowly, she admitted the truth. She had been having an affair with the basketball coach for over a year. She claimed it started as emotional support, late nights talking about stress, and spiraled into something physical. She said she never meant for it to happen, that she still loved me, that the baby didn't change what we had. Her words felt like knives. She wanted me to believe that love could survive betrayal this deep. She begged me to stay, to raise the child together, to pretend the truth didn't matter. But it did matter. It mattered every time I looked at the baby, every time I remembered the whispers, every time I thought about the trust she shattered. I couldn't hold back the rage. I told her she had not only betrayed me, but she had humiliated me publicly, turned me into a man living a lie. My voice cracked under the weight of anger and sorrow. Angela wept, begging forgiveness, but I knew forgiveness couldn't erase the child in the next room, a permanent reminder of her choices. The night ended with me leaving the house. I drove aimlessly, tears blurring my vision, until I found myself parked by a quiet lake. I sat there for hours, replaying our years together, wondering how everything had led to this. In the end, betrayal changes you in ways you can't predict. I filed for divorce. The marriage was unsalvageable, the trust irreparable. Angela fought, claiming she needed me, but I couldn't stay chained to a life built on lies. The baby wasn't to blame, and I carried no hatred for her. She was innocent, born into a storm she didn't create. But I couldn't raise her as my own. It wouldn't be fair to her, to me, or to the truth. The community's whispers eventually died down, replaced by new scandals and gossip. But the scar remained. Betrayal leaves an imprint deeper than wounds. It reshapes how you trust, how you love, how you see the world. Looking back, I realize betrayal is more than just the act itself. It's the way it robs you of certainty, the way it leaves you questioning everything you thought was solid. I lost a wife, a marriage, and a future I once dreamed of. But I gained something else, clarity. Clarity that love without loyalty is fragile. Clarity that trust is more valuable than passion. And clarity that sometimes walking away isn't weakness, it's survival. So I leave you with this. What would you do if the person you trusted most not only betrayed you but left behind a living reminder of their disloyalty? Would you stay and carry the weight, or would you walk away and start again? Because sometimes, the hardest betrayal isn't losing them. It's realizing they were never truly yours.